Hi reception, welcome to today's literacy lesson. I hope you're ready to do some super work with me. Are you? Oh good, fantastic, I'm ready too. Now, I've got in front of me a story, and it's a story you've been doing work with this week. Ready? What's the story called? That's right, Giraffes Can't Dance. Now before we get started with what we're going to be doing today, I want to show you something from the story. I wonder, if I showed you a page, could you talk to your helper about what you think's going on in the pictures? Really? And could you talk about perhaps how the characters are feeling a little bit too? Okay, so when I show you the picture, I want you to pause the video and have a chat. What's happening in the picture and how are the characters feeling? And you may want to look at not just the main character of Gerald, but some of the other animals that are in this on this page too. Okay, you ready? Oh, I've got that in position. Okay. What did you think, reception? That's right. At this part of the story, we're finding out that the jungle dance is about to happen again, and all the animals are getting ready. And if you look at some of the animals in the background, you can see lots of excited animals, animals that are smiling. Perhaps some animals are even starting to practice their dance, and they're very keen indeed to get going. And here we have our main character, Gerald. And that's when we realise that Gerald is starting to feel a bit worried and a bit sad because he knows his dancing is not so great. So that's a really important part of the story. Well done for talking about that with your helper. Now, today we're thinking about the story a little bit more and we're going to have Gerald to help us. But you know what? Gerald is missing. Do you think you could call out for Gerald for me? I think you might hear your voice more than mine. Are you ready? Let's count to 3 and shout for Gerald. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Gerald! Oh, Gerald, there you are. Gerald's got something in his hand, reception. Should we have a look at what it is? Hi, Gerald. Are you sleeping? Oh, come on over here. What have you got here? Oh, what's this for? It says to reception. Gerald, is this a letter for reception? Oh, I wonder who it's from. Should we have a look inside? Okay, I'll have a read of it for you, reception. Oh, very posh. Let's open it up. Okay. It says, to reception. Imagine if your story was not about a giraffe. Okay. Imagine your story was not about a jungle dance, but about something else instead. Imagine, reception, that your helper in the story wasn't a little cricket, but a different animal instead. Reception, here's your challenge. Can you create your own version of the story? Oh, by changing the characters, the activity, and the advice given. Oh, and there's no name on it. It says love from ? It's a mystery. Who could have sent us that letter? I wonder. Maybe it was Miss Beard. Maybe Mrs. Horn. I don't know. But do you think we could have a go at that challenge? Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. I have got some things that might help us with the challenge already here that we can use. Now, reception. The letter said we needed to change what animals are in the story, what the activity was. So that means instead of dancing, something else. And we had to change the advice given. Okay, so that means when the cricket helped Gerald in the story, he told him to find his own music to dance to. He gave him some advice and helped him along his way. So let's see what's on my board. Maybe these pictures can help us. Gerald, you sit there. I'm going to help the children. Okay. That's a bit small. Let's squeeze up like this. Okay, reception. So on my board, I've got, and I hope you can see. Okay. Oh gosh. Okay. A bit closer. I've got some different animals. I've also got some different activities, some different things that the animals can do. So let's have a little think. Oh, some more animals down here too. We need to choose an animal, and the animal needs to not be able to do an activity like Gerald. So Gerald couldn't dance. That's why the story was called Giraffes Can't Dance. So let's have a little think. I'm going to stand up to have a little look at my pictures here. So, well, we've got here. Gerald, do you want to come and help us over here? Are you sure? Can you see everything? I know. I can think. What about the fish? Maybe. Oh, do you know what I know about fish? People say fish haven't got good memories, so maybe fish can't. Fish can't do what? Fish can't. Oh, I know. Fish can't count. And I've got some numbers here. Maybe the fish can't remember how to count. So maybe that would be the story. Fish can't count because fish don't have the best memories. That could be one story. Okay, what else could happen? Let's move that down so we can see. Oh, I know, parrots. Can you make the noise of a parrot? That's right, very noisy, very squawky. So I think parrots, let's think what parrots might not be very good at. Look, this is a good one. What about this one? There's a picture here of some instruments, some music. So maybe it could be parrots can't sing because their voices are too squawky. So maybe one of our stories could be parrots can't sing. I quite like that one actually. That might be a good one. Let's see what else. Any other ideas? I know. What about dogs? What do dogs do? Well, lots of things, don't they? But dogs do like to bark, don't they? Dogs like to bark and chase things. That's how they have fun. So maybe dogs can't be quiet because dogs like to make a lot of noise. I know that when my doorbell goes or when the postman delivers my mail, my dog likes to bark a lot. When they see a cat, they like to bark a lot. So actually being quiet would be very, very tricky for my dog. So maybe the story could be dogs can't be quiet or dogs can't be silent. And maybe there's maybe they're going to do a silent competition or something. Lots of good ideas. And we've got some other animals that could help them perhaps. Right, do you know what, reception? I think I'm going to do. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. Parrots can't sing because I think that would be a really fun story. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to get our story map from Giraffes Can't Dance because I'm going to use that and I'm going to change bits on it to create a brand new story. Would you help me? Thank you so much. Okay, I'm just going to pause the video. I'll be back in a moment. Hi, reception. Welcome back. Oh my gosh, I got very, very busy while you were away thinking about my new story about parrots that can't sing. And I've started to create a new story. And I'm going to borrow the story map that you would have used for your activity on Giraffes Can't Dance. And I'm going to change some of the parts of the story. Okay, now remember, we needed a new character, a new activity, a new friend to help, and some new advice to give. So I've had a little think and I've had a go. Would you like to see what my story's going to be? Great. Okay, let me get it ready for you. So, make sure we can see each other. Okay, reception. So, here is my story map. Now, this is the story of Giraffes Can't Dance. Now, I'm going to use part of it, but not all of it. So, are you ready to hear my story? Okay, and I've just put my ideas on post-its. I'm going to pop them on top to create my new story map. So, my story starts with my parrot. Now, my parrot I'm going to call, I think, Percy. Percy Parrot. So, Percy the parrot lived in a tall tree and loved munching away on the leaves. Okay. He spent most of his time alone in the trees, and what he loved to do most of all was to sing. And no one ever heard Percy the parrot singing. Now, one day in the forest where he lived, there was a great big commotion because there was going to be a talent show. Now, in a talent show, everyone can join in and share what they're really good at. And lots of animals had great ideas. The bunnies were going to show how high they could jump. The spiders were going to play the piano with all of their legs. And lots of other animals were doing great things. Now, Percy loved to sing, and he wanted to have a go at doing this in the talent show. Now, he was feeling a bit nervous because he'd never sung in front of anyone else before. So what he did was he had a deep breath and he walked out onto the stage very bravely indeed. But then all the animals saw Percy and they started to do the same as in the other story, laugh, and they started shouting out to Percy, "Parrots can't sing, don't be silly, they can only squawk." "Oh, Percy, you're so silly. Why did you think you could sing in the talent show?" Now, Percy was feeling quite shy, wasn't he? And to have his friends laugh at him like that and be quite unkind made him extremely sad. So he found a quiet place under a large leaf and he said, "I'll never sing again." And he had a little cry. Poor Percy. But then he heard a small voice. And on top of the leaf, there was a ladybird. And she spoke to Percy. She said, "Percy, whatever is wrong?" And Percy said, "All the animals say I can't sing. I feel so sad." Now the ladybird, although very, very small, was very, very wise and also extremely kind. And she told Percy some great advice. She said to Percy, "Percy, sometimes we need to be really brave and we need to believe in ourselves, even if others don't. Those animals have judged you. They've thought you can't sing, even though they haven't heard you. They've judged you like judging a book by its cover. You shouldn't do that. You can sing, and if you believe it, go out there and do it." Now, Percy felt brilliant. Having a kind word from the ladybird has really helped him. So he did it again. He did another deep breath. And he went to the stage. And this time he insisted he was going to sing. And he opened up his wings and he sung as loud as he could. And what came out was the most beautiful song. All the other animals were entranced. They couldn't stop listening to the beautiful song. And when Percy finished, they all shouted, "Hooray!" And they all said, "Percy, we are so sorry. That was very unkind of us. Parrots can sing." And that's when Percy said to them all, "I believed I could do it, and I was brave. And now I feel really proud of myself." And from that day on, Percy didn't stay all alone when he wanted to sing. He would sing every chance he got, and all the animals from all around came to listen. And that's the end of my story. Now, reception. What I'd like you to do now at home with your helper, and I will take a picture of this as well and send this home so that you can have a little look at it in more detail. I know it's quite small. I would like you to use the animal cards I've sent home and the activity cards to have a go at creating your own story, a bit like Giraffes Can't Dance. But remember, what we're changing is the character in the story, the activity they need to do, the helper, and the advice they give. Now, if you want to borrow parts of my story, that's absolutely fine. But if you want to create your own, that's great as well. And at home, you should have a copy of the story map from Giraffes Can't Dance from earlier in the week, which you can use. Okay. Now, once you've made that, I would love to see a picture of it. Now, you don't have to do it in as much detail as this. Perhaps you could create just a simple beginning, middle, and end with your helper, which you can send in and show us. Or if you want to, wouldn't it be wonderful if you created your own book cover with your new title in? And even inside, you could perhaps start to make up the story that would go with your new title. Okay, so reception, have a wonderful time being authors, creating stories. I can't wait to hear what ideas you come up with. Okay, have a lovely rest of the day now. Bye.